And we're live.
Hey, we are alive, and I'm like never
Hey,
centered for some reason. Oh
yeah, yeah.
well.
Hi guys, welcome to our weekly hangout. Starting off this week with the one and only Mr. Warren Bowman from BW1.
Hey, I'm on time.
Yeah, I know, right? And everybody else is late. Now, Juan may not be able to join us, but he said he'll try. He's at a Microsoft store opening out there on the West Coast. So, of course, it's usually early because we've done a couple of those, right? It's
Yeah,
like at
usually
8
pretty
o'clock
early.
in the
And
morning. So it's,
usually like 8 o'clock, a bunch of happy people jumping around, clapping
yeah.
people coming into the store, and probably some giveaways and some contests
Stuff
that
like
you usually
that.
have.
Yeah, exactly. So it's there, and so he said he would try and join if he can. If not, we'll see him. But hopefully we get Sam and Alex to join. So welcome to this week's hangout. We've been away for a bit. Had travels. I had weddings. I actually had a wedding at the exact time of the hangout, so I could not start it up. I was taking pictures. I was being a camera guy. Parker, so to speak. But anyway, let's go ahead. First off, let's me announce the winner of the last weekly giveaway we had, and let me just pull it up here. That was for the card. This one, $10 iTunes gift card, and the winner is Juan Irvin. Yes, not Mr. Juan Bagnell. Juan Irvin.
Congratulations, Juan.
For telling us about your favorite announcement, which was you talked about the Galaxy Note Edge, and you also just give us some details about what you liked about it. So thanks for that. You get to win the iTunes gift card, $10 gift card. Just email me on YouTube, and so I can just email this the code to you. I don't have to actually ship this to you. I can just send. So, all right, let's start it off this week. Uselessness of the week. I know. Warren has one, but I would actually say the iPhone for me. We can do two. The iPhone pre-order and launch is the uselessness of this week. Why? Because the whole pre-order system was janky. Apple tried to do a false sale, and like as you guys know, I don't have my iPhone 6 Plus. This is the first time in my life I have decided to go buy an iPhone. It's, because I want to do videos for you guys, not necessarily because I'm a big iPhone fan. And I got up early on the 12th, did the pre-order. This is now with T-Mobile, mind you, by the way. So um, the systems were down most of the day. They called me back at 1 o'clock. I pre-ordered my iPhone. I paid for expedited shipping. That's $24, and it's Saturday, and there's no iPhone. So that's my useless of the week. And they have no idea when they're shipping it out, by the way. And plus, Apple did a very bad job, especially shipping out pluses. Very, very few. I believe the word is almost less than a third. No, less than 1/8 of the shipments out were 6 pluses out there. So that's my useless. How about you, Warren?
Let me see. For me, I would say my uselessness probably would be. I'm trying to think. There's a lot of useless things that happened this week. I'm trying to think of what are the most recent thing. It's probably these clickbait articles and just
Yes.
was that the one you were thinking I was going to mention?
Yeah, how I was, because there've been a lot of clickbait articles,
It,
and you know
it,
what
it,
it
it's
is?
getting to the point where it's getting very, and the thing is, it's been heavy for a while. It's definitely increased over time, but it's now at a tipping point where, man, there's just so much clickbait going on out there. It's getting to be very ridiculous. It's getting to be hard to know what a genuine article is.
Yeah, it is. So here is one. Should I even share it? Should I? Should I?
You can share it. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe.
I will. I will share it. So if we have this new showcase thing within the Hangouts now, where I can actually share links. So I'm gonna put in the link there. Just go through it yourself, guys, and see what we're talking about clickbait here, because basically,
Where did you post
people are
that?
not writing articles to actually write articles about. Okay, yeah, you can write versus articles and say this is better than the other, but you give something factual and say, hey, what, I believe that this is better than that.
Did you share that in? Because I was just checking. It doesn't say any items are there.
No, if you go to the showcase app,
Yeah, that's why I just went into the showcase app,
yeah.
and it's saying no featured items yet.
Let's see, redirect notice. The previous page was um. Okay, yeah, it should be in there. It's there. Okay, you see it now? This
Not
is the
yet.
first time I'm using the Showcase app.
Yeah, so this is all brand new for the weekly
Fudge.
hangout.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see if it works, but
We'll see for now, but it's basically an article that someone posted talking about the 5 reasons why. Let me actually get the exact title here so people can kind of see it. 5 reasons. 5 reasons
why
the
iOS
iPhone.
is better
The
than.
five reasons the iPhone still beats Android. Mind you, now that's funny. The title says that, but the actual link where Google looks is iPhone features Android doesn't have is what the actual URL kind of says within it. That's another SEO trick.
Mhm.
Um, it goes through about 5 topics in here, which I read through the article because one of our friends, Bucket TV, um, Thorny from Bucket TVs, he's a YouTube reviewer as well too. Does a lot of tech reviews as well, and he's an Apple fan. He likes Apple products, and he posted this, and he said, this is a very consistent, great points here. And I read through these points, and all like there's 5 points here. About one and a half are probably like accurate, and it's just all flame bait to get 324 comments. So Apple and Samsung and Apple and Android people can kind of go at one another. There was no
Okay, so guys,
substance and no
quick,
truth
quick
within
one.
it.
If you can't see it in the showcase, I did post it on the video. So
Okay.
on the comment section of the video, it's there. If I can't do that, I'll just post stuff there directly for you guys.
No, normally we wouldn't post these type of things, but this is just one of the ones when I just read through it, I was like, this is just, you know, ridiculous. And I can rip through this article and just point out all the flaws and all the wrong things and the things that they're saying that just makes absolutely no sense. There's about probably, I know I take that back. There's one thing in here that they probably have that's kind of factual, that's truthful. The other 4 are completely just nonsense and just completely someone writing in a context that's just made to get that type of that type of response out of it. It's not a genuine article where someone's genuinely saying something. It's trying to get people to get at each other. And that's the things that I don't necessarily like to see online. I mean, if you have 5 reasons, the iPhone, give some valid reasons, state some examples, show some, proof of what you're saying. And we all took an English class. You know how to cite your sources, and if you create a thesis statement, what the rest of it is backing up your thesis statement. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna say this is the reason why iPhone still beats Android, and your content needs to back up your thesis statement, and then at the end you need to come with a summary that sums up why your thesis statement is proper. None of that's going on in this entire article at all. It's just clickbait.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is, and it's sad that that's going on. Hopefully that changes. It looks like I posted it. Says successfully pending changes show items visible to your audience.
Okay, so maybe
Okay.
it's yeah.
Yeah, this is the first time using it, but instead of giving that a lot of thought, let's just move on to the topics of this week.
Yeah.
So iPhone 6 launch, iPhone 6 Plus. You've got a chance to see both devices, right, Warren?
Yeah.
And yeah, again, I'm going to give a big shout out to AT&T because they came to my rescue after. Sorry, my machine is running slow. Am I slowing down there for you?
No, you're fine right now. You're stuck
Okay,
a little bit, but
for
you're good
some
right
reason.
now.
All right. So AT&T came to my rescue because my T-Mobile, iPhone 6 Plus just didn't show up. So I went to the AT&T store, took a look at the iPhone 6 Plus, and also got an unboxing of the iPhone 6. Now, I'm going to give my thoughts, and then, Warren, you can join in and give your thoughts on what you think about the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. Hey, Sam, how's it going, man?
Hey, how's it going? Sorry about being late. My PC decided to shut. That Windows decided that I needed a force shutdown and force updates. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You need to do those. You need to do those at night.
No, my PC was on. I picked it up from sleep, and all of a sudden, it just shut down.
All right.
It was imposed on me.
Yeah, it was. So we're talking about the iPhone 6 and our thoughts. So I'm going to start off first, and then Warren will go in. And I know you, because I know you haven't had hands-on
No
time with
experience
it.
whatsoever.
Yeah, but your thoughts in general. So the iPhone 6, it's 4.7 inches. It's a 5-inch device. It really is 5 inches in size. The screen is 4.7. There's a lot of bezel space. To me, as much as I kind of was pushing for the 5.5, I think the iPhone itself, the iPhone 6 itself, is probably the better fit iPhone for most people. Now the iPhone 6 Plus, For me, it's not big, but everybody will call it massive. Reason why is that thing is even. I swear to God, it feels like it's almost bigger than the Lumia 1520.
It's up in that range.
Yeah, it is actually 6 inches in total device length and size altogether. The screen size is 5.5, but there's just a lot of like wasted bezel space. Now I understand that on the bottom, because of the Touch ID, and that's cool. Because that's signature Apple. But at the very top, that space there is like almost unnecessary in my mind. So I'm not exactly sure. I did like some of the feel of the iPhone 6, the iPhone 6 Plus. I have to spend more time, but again, that was quickly at the store for about like 15, 20 minutes, so I could get that video out there to you guys. But what are your thoughts, Warren?
From the time that I spent with it, I unfortunately didn't get a chance to get any videos. I wanted to give more of a first impressions video, so our video for BW1 probably will come a little later down the road when we want to do our reviews. When we get some hands-on, get some real time to kind of work with the 6 and the 6 Plus. But first, the hilariousness of the pre-order, which is absolutely useless, like you were saying before, and it's just like. That's bad enough. But then going into the iPhone 6, the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus themselves, the first thing I said is, man, they look like some knockoff phones. I mean, they look like. I mean, I'm not trying to bash, but they look like some of those Mizu phones that came out before. They look very similar to that. And when I even looked at the back of it at one point, I kind of felt it's like this reminds me of the original HTC One series a little bit in the way it's kind of feel and its packaging and its design, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, different from an iPhone. It really felt like they were trying to take ideas from Android designs and the way it was doing, was trying to get into that space, so to speak. But as far as the 6 Plus, it's 4.7 inches. It's pretty big, not big phone, but it's a pretty decently sized phone. I think a lot of people will like that one. A lot of bezel on it. The 6 Plus, however, is a massive phone with a 5.5-inch display, and I had my Galaxy Note 3 there next to it and compared it to it, and the Note 3 is smaller with a bigger display. And it's like significantly smaller, and it doesn't make a lot of sense that they made such this massive iPhone and have all this bezel and stuff on it. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they're stuck with the Touch ID system, so that hardware is there, so they're kind of stuck with having to have that physical button there for now until they can maybe figure out another way to sort of get around it maybe. But they have that there, so that's going to always cause a certain level of thickness and bezel and how much bezel they're going to be able to put on the device. But overall, they feel nice. They're interesting. They're not typical iPhones. They're different from what we've seen before. But at the same time, it's like when I pick them up and it's like if I turn the screen off and I pick this up and look at it, it could fool me to be an Android device. And that's what kind of just my opinion on it a little bit.
Okay.
Not a lot of people may not agree with that, but it's just when I picked up and had the feel and just kind of looked at it. It's like if you remember, if you pick up the 6 and then if you remember the HTC One S, it gave me a very, very familiar feel to that thing. And I was like, it feels very familiar. This looks like, remember the Mizu phones, the ones that were coming out?
Yeah, I remember.
Very similar to that. And I was like,
okay.
It just had this look of like, we're trying to get Android users, so let's try to appeal to that a little bit. And that's just my sort of opinion on it from the limited time that I had with it.
Okay, how about you, Sam? I know you haven't, but what are just your thoughts so far? Launch, device, what you've heard, how you, or even just some of your expectations. Because when we spoke, your expectations for the iPhone, you were actually willing to go out and get one, and it seems your expectations have kind of, shifted.
It definitely has. I was actually looking forward to getting an iPhone until I realized that, they weren't going to have the sapphire screen on there. And to me, that was a deal breaker. If I'm going to get a phone, I need a phone that's going to be innovative, especially if I'm getting a phone from Apple. and I don't think this phone is as groundbreaking as it could have been. In terms of lunch, it was really funny seeing people lined up outside different Apple stores, especially the one in Grand Central, looking at people walking, like standing in line to get the phones. I'm like, and there's no 6 pluses, but a lot of people were just going to go there anyway and get the 4.7. So in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe the 6 plus is not going to sell as well as the
No, it's not going to. Already, I think they're saying it's. I was reading somewhere it says like a 6-1 so far. Well, 6-1 also just because it's
availability is just
it's not
low.
available. But here's the catch, though, that I realized. So when I went to AT&T, so besides spending, I actually was just talking to people buying the devices, and they had like a kiosk area where you could try the devices, and a lot of people were turned off from the 6 Plus. Because like these are people who they're still iPhone users, right? They have an iPhone, but like I remember a couple of people there were like, "Oh, this is bigger than my friend's Galaxy Note." Like the Note for them, the Note is the big phone, right? And they held it and they went, "This is not the same." Like they felt it was going to be the same as the Note, and they're like, okay, no, this is not, and then they hold the 6. They're like, all right, fine, I can do this. So it seems like Apple tried to emulate Samsung, and in reverse, they couldn't do it. We all know Samsung coupled Apple early, but they did
Yeah.
a good job at it.
But if you're looking at something like the iPhone, just the design wise, to me, I think the iPhone design has totally lost any semblance of just cool that it had. Like Warren pointed out, it now has this bezel, should I say the design, basically the red design of this, which is the
Hmm.
HTC One, and it looks as though even it looks as though they've now stolen, that little cut through, both on the top and on the bottom. Um, and then also the button placement on the left side,
Oh,
volume
I
rocker,
forgot to mention about button
very
placement. It's very
yeah.
Samsung-like.
Yeah, and to me, it feels as though for a company that people used to joke about Steve Jobs' hatred of buttons, to the fact he didn't wear any turtlenecks, to the fact that he wanted to have as little buttons as possible on the iPhone, you now have volume up, volume down being very clearly distinct buttons. So those are 2 buttons now. You have the switch for locking the phone in whatever portrait or
The
whatever mode
ringer.
you have. Yeah, a ringer. You
A
now have
physical ringer switch in 2014.
another button on the other side. What is that? Like the power button, and then you have the button on the bottom. And yes, guess what, guys? When you have those many buttons, your bezel is going to be thicker because you need to have all the electronics for it at the sides, 2 sides, more on the bottom, and also some on the top. So it's just your
So,
design.
so, so are you saying that they need to do a G3 and put the buttons at the back?
No, no.
I know.
I'm saying,
I can see Warren
I'm
there
saying.
shaking his head.
No.
What I'm saying is they need to pull if they're gonna steal from HTC, they should steal well, and no buttons on one side, buttons on the other side, no buttons on the bottom, and the only power buttons on the top. Guess what? Limits. Put the buttons where they have to be. Like, you have the cameras and a speaker up here, so put the button here. Hey, guess what? Everything stays in the same place. The camera is also around there as well,
Yeah.
so things stay in the same place. It's like they could make better design decisions. And this iPhone 6, to me, realistically, it's just, hey, we made another phone. Here you go, fanboys. You can buy it.
Yeah. Before we
Yeah.
continue, just a quick one. I apologize, guys. I turned on the Q&A, and I guess because I turned on that new service, it turned off the Q&A. So just leave your comments on the video. I'll be checking the video, and we'll go through comments and questions and things like that. But again, Hangouts. Whenever they introduce something new, something else just kind of goes off the wayside as we do this. But so you were saying, Sam, like they created something for fanboys, and
No, I don't think they created something for fanboys. I think they created a phone because it was expected of them, and they just expect their fan base to buy it.
no,
Simply
but
what it is.
we
It's
know.
not even a customer base anymore. It's a fan base,
But
and that's the way.
which is true though, because all the excitement, all the buzz, right, for this, literally, I kid you not, at the AT&T store, about the 30 people I saw who walk in there, I think I saw only one person with an LG G3, and the only reason why he was there he came with a friend who picked up the new iPhone, and he bought a G3 case. So for me, just anecdotal evidence, it looked like, it was like, Warren has always said this in the past, is like, this is the iPhone 4S fans, those people who didn't upgrade are really upgrading now, and some people who regretted
Exactly.
buying the iPhone 5C are doing that upgrade. That's what you're getting with this. Now we'll see what it is. Apple pulled out their 4.4 million pre-orders, which is a nice number. Except when this is some inside knowledge I found from the store, is that, and also from the AT&T people, there's that Apple only actually had estimated 2.2 million. So it was an artificial demand. When very well there was going to be a huge turnout for this. You can't put a 2.2 million pre-order for something like this altogether. So it's just one of those things, like, to put it in the back of your head to say, okay, look, that all those lines and all that stuff, and the fact that my own iPhone 6 isn't here, it's just because the company wants to control the flow and make it seem like they're selling. It's the hottest item in the market right now. And I think that's where it lies with Apple. And I think that coolness factor of Apple is gone. To me, it really has dissipated. I think this is just the clearest evidence to tell people that, Apple is facing really tough competition. And I think you said this, Sam, is like, they spent all their time developing the Apple Watch, and we're still even shocked about that they just kind of slapped around the iPhone.
I'm not even going to comment on.
No, we don't need to talk about the Apple Watch. I'm just saying.
We don't need to talk about the Apple Watch, because seriously, if the Apple Watch is a success, and this is a big if, it would be proof that Apple can release anything. That would be proof that Apple could release anything and sell it. But
no, just no. Just no. This is simply no.
Well, I hope that it isn't. I agree with you. I hope that isn't the case, but that's something. But when it comes to the phone, it's just I don't understand why they wouldn't just have a staggered release for the 6 Plus and the 6, when realistically that's what's happening. Right?
Yeah,
So that's what I kept on hearing from everyone. Oh, I got an email. I'm getting mine in October.
Yeah, all the manufacturers were saying October release for through DigiTimes for the 6 Plus.
And that's what people are seeing now, because people are getting emails that says it's going to be in October that they receive their device. So it's just, I don't understand why there's such a lack of facing reality with Apple, and how people can continually watch this company lie to them, and they basically continue to be such huge fans of their products. I don't get it. iCloud wasn't breached. iPhone 6 Plus would come out the same time iPhone 6 does. The iWatch would be revolutionary. Really? I don't know what to say, man. It's just, to me, this was just so lackluster. I was actually one of the people who's an Android fan, or who's an Android user, that was actually going to pick up an iPhone 6 as my everyday driver, until I found out that the biggest feature that was rumored, which was the Sapphire screen, was not going to be part of this phone's release. Why? Just seriously, why? It's just, I don't know. It was so lackluster for me. I really don't have a very positive opinion of the whole iPhone 6 in my head debacle.
Okay, all right. Well, before we spend too much time on the iPhone 6, stay tuned for our reviews and our coverage from BW1 as well as Booredatwork. We'll give you more stuff on the iPhone 6 and the 6 Plus once we get them out. Again, we'll be fair and balanced with it. I know some people are probably listening to this and saying, these guys are bashing the iPhone 6. I think it's, for us, it's, when Apple has been the market leader and everyone calls you innovative, we expect you to show up. That's just it. And I think that's the main thing here, is once you and to the point of, Samsung dropped the ball earlier this year in a way with the S5. Like, it didn't wow us. The solid device didn't wow us. So I'm expecting Apple to just come out and.
Hey, we were very honest about Samsung and
drop the
HTC. Yeah, we're very honest about Samsung and HTC, that the HTC One M8 and the Samsung S5 weren't the biggest, advances in like handheld tech or handheld or innovation in handhelds. And when the LG G3 came out, we were basically straight up and said that's the best phone out there. It beats both Samsung and HTC. So if it's good and if it's
It
worth
was.
spending your money on, yeah, if it's worth spending your money on, we'll tell you it's worth spending your money on. If it's not, then we'll tell you hell's no. And that's the truth. That is the truth.
Yeah, no, that is it. But anyway, let's move on here. So, other big news this week: Microsoft finally announced their purchase of Minecraft, and its parent developer is called Mojang, right?
Mojang.
Mojang, yeah, for $2.5 billion. Now, a
There's
lot
some
of people,
uselessness in this one too.
yeah,
I
a
am
lot of
not.
people,
I'm not commenting on this
and
one.
a lot of
So
people, well, in terms of this, some people were kind of, sidetracked, like, wow, Microsoft buying Minecraft for that amount of money. In terms of what Minecraft brings to the table, yes, it's a very good purchase for a software developer wise, because this is a studio that can turn out simple, basic gaming software that will at least pick up on masses. And again, they are making money, so it's not a bad buy at all. Now, on the other aspect is Minecraft's creator, and we've had this back and forth, myself, Warren, and Sam, about some being a little bit hypocritical. And the Minecraft creator put out a statement saying that he's leaving the company because for him he's just not like that big business guy, and he wants to focus on smaller things. Now, my thought process is that it's great. He's cashed out. He's made his money. He's cashed out, and now he wants to try and develop another thing and cash out again. As much as everybody wants to say,
Well, he's saying he doesn't want to do that.
Let's be human nature. Let's just call it this. Whatever good intentions you still want to benefit from it, and it's fine. I'm cool with that. I really am. I'm glad that he developed his game. It grew, got bigger, and he sold it. That's cool. What myself and Warren and what Sam doesn't agree is that I call it the hypocritical nature because of what he stated towards the guys at Oculus. And he said that Oculus, he talked about then, I'm just paraphrasing, he said Oculus was basically sold them on something, he's pissed, and he's never going to have a develop for Oculus, which now, of course, means that Minecraft will never be on Oculus, which, of course, is now bullshit because Microsoft owns it. And Microsoft and Facebook are pals, so that's good. Anyway, standard. The other aspect, the reason why I say that's also a little bit hypocritical is that, going back to Oculus, I shared the Kickstarter. I'll share the Kickstarter link again. It exactly specifically tells you what you are getting for that Kickstarter. You're getting the developer kit 1. That's it. And people, no. You can say whatever you want to.
I think we're missing the point here. No one is expecting to own.
No. But it was clearly there. So now,
yeah, it is.
Once it's past that, and you go into Series A funding, which they did, and they went into Series B funding, which they did, and then Minecraft creator decides to donate cash without going into funding with them. I'm sorry. Then that's you being silly. You gave somebody 10. Was it 100 grand? You
10,
gave him 100 grand. Huh?
10,000.
I wish the Mojang is nothing.
Exactly, it's nothing. So to me, don't come there and start yelling about 10 grand when they are Series A and Series B investors who have dropped money into this company and want to see something out of it. Now, maybe your expectations for Oculus is something of you want something big, but when they clearly show you and tell you something, if you can't read and you don't understand English, I'm sorry. That's your own problem. Get an interpreter.
I think we're missing the point here.
No, it's not missing the point.
I'm not gonna argue one way or the other this time because you guys already know my view on this.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth of the matter is.
By the way, right? As you're watching Sam right now, he is talking and playing Destiny, and trying to ramp up on that game. So, sometime either next week or maybe even tomorrow, I might drop a Destiny review, which might shock some.
I don't know what you're talking about with me watching my Destiny. I'm simply just watching TV. Okay, now, yes, I was playing Destiny. Sorry, people. No, so basically, My viewpoint on it is very straightforward. Okay, when you go into Kickstarter, no one's expecting to get a piece of your company. I agree with that. It's not You're not selling a piece of the company. You're selling a particular product to people who are enthusiasts, people who want to buy that product, people who want to see this product developed into something, into the vision that you originally had for it. Oculus was very game driven. People were like, oh, okay, this is going to be, gaming normally pushes the boundaries for a lot of other things. If you look at, let's take stuff like Kinect. Kinect was developed initially for, people in the medical field and things of that nature, right? It was developed not primarily for gaming, but once gaming got into it, it kind of kicked off. It's basically jumped into the medical field big time now. You have surgeons training on stuff like that. Now, so people were expecting something like the Oculus, yes, to be something that spurs innovation. Great. So people came together, donated a lot of money. It blew away its initial Kickstarter funding request, which was
but he made $2 million.
no, which is more like 2 million more than the initial
request. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Now you take this 2 million, right? What did the people who actually invested, or should I not say invested, who actually donated to this Kickstarter, right, get for the extra 2 million that that they basically put out there? Did they basically, this 2 million that was given, or should I say that was donated through Kickstarter to Oculus? What was done with it? Did it become part of Oculus's bottom line? What did they do?
Did 2 million? Okay. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not. Let me finish. I let you finish. Let me finish.
I let you off because at $2 million.
Let me finish before you continue.
Okay, continue. So because you're just stating something that's completely off.
It's not. I don't think. I'm not.
No, for 2 million, everybody.
I'm not judging them for
what they donated for.
Yes, I am not judging them for making money. I would never judge them for making money. But I'm just saying, okay, so there was a lot of grassroots, basically, goodwill that was given to these guys that these guys generated, and then they turn around and they sell to a company that had really very little apart from being a game or online game hosting sites. Because that's what people did. They just hosted really their games on Facebook.
Yeah.
They used Facebook to play these games. Apart from being that, they had no links really to any significant gaming publisher or anything. They just go ahead and sell it.
Okay, so see, now you stated your problem. Your problem is that they did not sell to an Activision, EA, Microsoft, or Sony.
They did not.
That is it, right?
I think my problem, or I think a lot of people had a problem with the fact that their sale to Sony, to me and to a lot of other people, was indicative of the fact that they had either sold out on the idea of making Oculus the next stage in basically gaming accessories, or the next stage in game interaction. And that's what everybody was like. That's why everybody's like, okay, so what's Facebook going to do with this thing now? And what has Facebook done with it? What has Facebook really done with it? So I think
but
in that sense, I can understand people being not too happy with.
It's not even 6 months yet of that deal finalized, right? Number one, so we can't. It has to be a year. Like every acquisition, Microsoft acquired Nokia. We still need a year for that.
Remember when we said when we asked the question, when I told you guys I don't think they're going to do anything this year, and you and someone, I think one said, yeah, they are. Yeah. I was like,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. I concede that. I will concede that now. But let me go back to your initial point. You said they raised $2 million. I know Warren's quiet here, but please allow me to take this forward here. You said they raised $2,437,429 from 9,522 backers. Those backers got fulfillment for everything they backed for. So that's why I don't get it. To me, is when you donate for something and you're getting this, 15 people pledged $15 for Oculus poster. They got their poster. There are 209 backers for it. There are 4,644 people who donated $300 for the development kit. They got their dev kits, and you can now buy a dev kit if you want to as a developer. So that whole part of the Kickstarter, to me, is fine. And if you come back and complain about that, I'm sorry. I'm going to lump you as an idiot because you can't read this. I'm serious. Now, moving on to the company. Yes, they didn't sell to Sony. They didn't sell to Microsoft. Can you guys see me?
I can see you.
Okay. For some reason, my video here is like slowing down, choppy. But they didn't sell to Sony. They didn't sell to Microsoft. And yeah, okay, that might be a concern. But I think what they had in mind was they found a company who actually saw the vision they wanted for Oculus. They want Oculus to be every day. They don't want Oculus to be gaming. And that's the difference here. If they wanted it to be gaming, they would have sold to actually Activision could have bought them and be done with.
That's true.
And that's it. And to me, it's this guys saw gaming was their entry, and when they started building this out, they looked at it and said, "Hey, you know what? This could be for everything." And that's a business decision, and that's something I cannot blame them for. Now, they also know very well gaming is still the entry point. And the reason why, you know what, they went to the partnership with Samsung yet prior to even Facebook is the fact that they know they need to source materials cheap. That display, you know, Oculus has changed the tone from a 1080p display. They want a 2K display or 4K display for their screens because that should give them better fidelity. So when you partner with a company like Samsung, you're getting those Samsung displays cheap. Those are the business sides of things that people just don't get. And understand that. And understand that, look, these guys' vision changed from just being pure gaming to saying VR can be everywhere. And I applaud them for that because, you know what, the gaming industry is a very stagnant, locked up spot. And, you know, we can talk about the uselessness of how there's nepotism in the gaming industry.
Oh, Jesus.
I won't even go there. Forget that. Just keep that aside. So I like the fact that they sat down there. And to me, the reason why I even applauded more is the fact that John Carmack, and we all know how John Carmack is. He's a very picky dude on projects. Saw this and said, this thing is bigger than gaming.
Yeah, no, and
that's why
like I said, gaming was going to be the entry point for a technology that people saw, you know, as being able to do a lot more than just game. But then at the end of the day, like, what is Facebook going to do with it? When you sell something like that to Facebook, it becomes, to me, in my mind, it becomes a tool for advertising. That's exactly what it is.
No, of course it is. But the thing is that every other than the gaming companies, if Microsoft bought it, if Google bought this thing. And the reason why I'm even
I got to stop. I want to interrupt just for a second just to say that, you know what? The same people complaining about Facebook bought it would have been the same people complaining about Microsoft buying it, the same people that complaining if Google would have bought it. You'd be the same whining and complaining. It's just that Facebook seems to be the oddball, but they're just as big as the other two companies I just mentioned. It's just people whining about these things because they think they're going to ruin the product, not come out with the product, and do something terrible with it. I'm sorry, does Facebook have a reputation of ruining anything yet of the products they purchase?
No, except for themselves and their privacy policies. But yeah, no.
But by direct, no, don't try to switch and swerve the question, Sam. You just did now. Does Facebook have a history of buying companies and ruining them?
No, that's very you're right.
WhatsApp, they have like
no. I'm not sidestepping the question. I'm just
look what they did to Instagram. Instagram's
what I'm saying
since being with Facebook.
What I'm saying is, yes, Facebook has a very good track record of letting these companies run themselves, and that's actually very good, right? They keep the core of the company, which is really good. However, what I'm saying by saying, oh, they just keep on screwing up their privacy policy is now Facebook has a whole nother level of collecting information from you vis-a-vis Oculus, right? I'm like, first of all, I don't trust Facebook not to be like, you know, not to use that information for your own gain, you know. And secondly, I don't trust Facebook to do something that benefits the user base over their bottom line. And when you're going into something like a Kickstarter, the whole idea is you're benefiting because the whole idea is that your backers are giving money, and that's who you're going to benefit.
The whole idea is you're trying to raise capital for your business, not trying to. I'm sorry, you're a business dude, man.
If you use Kickstarter as a funding as a source of as a source of venture capital funding, then you should be treated the same way. And in that case,
but that's what everybody does in Kickstarter.
Then in that case, then everybody who donates should get something. If you're going to argue that point, then anybody who donates should get something. Which is not what I'm saying, but I'm saying if you're going to say that's the point of it, then people who donate should get something.
Because it's a scheme. If you don't understand, Kickstarter is now the new legitimate Ponzi scheme of raising funds. Then something is wrong with you.
Oh my God!
Yes, I'm serious. Ponzi scheme. It is the Ponzi scheme.
No, I wouldn't say that. You know what it really is. It's
crowdfunding, man.
No. Let me say what it really is.
T-shirts and stuff.
Sam, you'll understand this if I say this because you deal with financials. It is a way for the common man to get into hedge funding. exactly what the hell it is.
But they don't own any piece of
Exactly,
it.
but that's how
That's the difference of it. But that's what it is, though.
Yeah, no, that's what it seems like, and that's why it worries me. It worries me that they basically have this structure that's very similar to a way like other companies, other hedge funds will operate.
It literally, that's what Kickstarter is.
But you get nothing out of it.
One.
But you get nothing out of it. But you see, the funny thing is the people at Kickstarter, the people who actually run Kickstarter, I'm sure they're getting something out of it. It's just the people who are actually doing the funding itself. The actual funders are getting nothing.
Kickstarter gets 10% of whatever you raise. Like, it doesn't matter. So that's why it's in your goal. So when a company says they need 250, take 10% out because that's what they really need. Kickstarter, that's how it's done. I mean, it's known. So to me, it's a problem with Kickstarter. I don't care what any company puts out there. It's your choice to look and pick. That's why when you mention this, I'm going, you're an idiot. Read. I don't care. Like, I have no patience for that. If I go on there and say this is I'm gonna start a new company, I'm gonna call it Thunder E Corp, right? And I'm doing a Kickstarter and I'm giving out T-shirts and I raise $10 million. Fine, I give you your T-shirts. I'm done. I'm out. I don't care because that's business and that's how these people run it. If you want to put lofty goals around it, feel free and feel like you're in the daisy-free world in Cambridge. But it's not. That's not what it is.
Cambridge.
that's how life is.
Right now, he is airing all his grievances right now.
No, it's not grievances. To me, it's stupidity. Like, people should understand that. Look, if Kickstarter did a second-tier level of funding, say, hey, if you want to now own part of a company, like if you donate some amount, you get a percentage of this company as it moves forward. That's cool. That's fine. But don't sit down there and pretend that just because these people it's called Kickstarter, it's called marketing. When you see the video, it's how people sell you on stuff. That's what marketing does. They say, well, I want to do this, and that's what they want to do, but they also want to make money and they want to raise money, and you're there to help them. Yes or no? And for your services, they give you this.
Yeah, I guess.
And that's it. That's why, to me, it's when people make these comments and claims, I go, read.
I'm not saying that. First of all, like I've always said, I'll always preface it by saying I'm not saying anybody owns a piece of Oculus just because they donated to Oculus. I am not advocating that at all. I'm advocating people should know exactly what they're spending their money on. When I give my money to any one of these projects, all I expect is what I pay for. And a lot of times I've given money just so I could get a T-shirt that I would never wear because I think, okay, it's a really, really cool idea.
No, see, but that's cool, and that's why I say that with Oculus, everybody got what they paid for. So
but at the end of the day, to me, it's just. Well, I think I'm just saying why there's so much. Why there was so much negativity at the fact that
because the
Oculus,
company is Facebook. It's a big
company.
Yes, that is very true.
It seems as though
But if that name popped up, I kid you not, if that name popped up and it said something like, I don't know, Activision.
If it said Google, people would be so.
You know what? Let me be realistic. Let's be really realistic here. If it was a company, if it was another company that had as little to do with actual game development that Facebook did, then I think people would have had the same reaction.
No, they would not.
That is the truth. If they had sold it to Microsoft, I think people would actually have been kind of very impressed with it because
Microsoft,
okay, what will Microsoft really do with this company? Microsoft could do a lot. If they sold it to Google, I think people would have been very impressed because, hey, what will Google do with this kind of stuff? Hey, people will say, oh, the whole privacy concerns and all this information about what Google can now know more about you is those questions there.
No,
but those guys have a
privacy
track record of making hardware and making
you make
software.
one mistake. You make one mistake there is that with the privacy concerns, people don't even talk about Google's privacy concerns.
Oh, please.
They don't talk about it as much. No, whenever Facebook makes a slight mistake on their privacy thing or they change something, it's like the biggest brouhaha. Google does something. Except Google does something.
The Facebook messaging thing is absolutely ridiculous.
To the point where, when Microsoft, this is how Microsoft knows how, like other companies, how bad Google is. Microsoft created Cortana. They tell you first thing you have to opt into all the shit that Google Now does for you. Google Now literally is the most invasive. Like, until Cortana came out, Google now added the features of now opting out of it stuff. Because it goes into all your information. Like, literally, you'll be shocked when you use Google Now and how much.
There's a reason I don't use Chrome anymore.
Exactly. so I'm just saying that it runs the gambit on many spectrums. But we've talked about this way too much. I apologize because I went off a tangent.
I use Chrome and I use Google Now and I like it. Good lord.
No, I'm just saying that for users, like if you're concerned about privacy, right, with
Yeah, but
Facebook.
but let's circle
Yeah.
back to what we started talking about, which is Oculus, right? I
No,
just
it was Minecraft. That's where we started.
Yeah, no, no, okay,
Minecraft.
Minecraft, right? And the fact that you think, it was a little bit of a, it was very, yeah, God, it was hypocrisy for Notch to basically say anything uh, about Oculus now when he's already sold out. I'm just gonna say there's two totally different situations, and I think Minecraft selling to Microsoft is a pretty good idea. Microsoft bought something that they most definitely can combine with Azure and probably turn into a vehicle. They could basically use to test out. Users or gaming with Azure, because yes, we know that Azure also runs what's it called, Titanfall. It's a back end for Titanfall. But when you start talking about an expansive world like Minecraft, that becomes that would tax Azure a little bit more. And I think Microsoft definitely wants to show off that it can actually handle that kind of computing power on the back end, or should I say, in the cloud.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Cool. Let's just move away from that because I'm sure people are like, you guys have talked about Minecraft and then Oculus for a long time.
Yeah, I know.
So other news, Windows 9 event is on September 30th. It says about Windows 9 and Enterprise. Rumor is that we will be getting our first beta preview either that day or shortly after for Windows 9. Your thoughts, but before we get into your thoughts, just quick ones there. What do you guys think about Windows 9? Some of the things you've seen out there. So a couple of features that I know we've seen from leaked videos are start menu. So on the desktop, so if you're using a traditional PC like we are here,
Mhm.
or a laptop, you will have mostly a desktop, and all your Metro apps will run through your start button or whatever the case may be. The Charm, it will be disabled. Now Charm is available for tablets and maybe laptops or convertible devices. The other aspect is that there is now a notification center. Not like Windows didn't have it, but it's just more centralized, which I kind of like, especially if you're moving to tablets and things like that. That kind of makes sense. The other thing too is now that kind of like stuff Mac has done for a while, you can now have multiple desktops, which I guess is
something that
it's
building
it's
in.
nice,
They're
it's a nice
building.
additive.
That's like mind
Linux.
you, that's something that's been available in Windows through third-party applications.
And also,
Yeah.
if you've ever used Linux, you're pretty familiar with multiple.
For me, yeah, but on Windows, you really don't. I'm gonna say on a desktop environment, I don't see why you need to. But if you want users to maintain that start screen, like the old start desktop mode, then maybe that will help in with tablets and things like that. Who knows? But so what do you guys think about the leaks, and what do you think about Microsoft? Like, it looks like Microsoft now wants to start pushing that yearly Windows update from 9 to 10, the following year, and things like that. What do you guys think about that?
Well, if it's fully baked, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Nothing is fully baked. So I mean, dude, what year do you live in?
Nah, no. I'll let Warren go first
I
here.
mean, it's something, it's interesting if they're getting into yearly updates or just roll-ups and stuff, once a year, adding new features and stuff like that. It's something that's been somewhat successful for the Mac users and such. So, it's something I can see the Windows users Windows kind of getting into a little bit. It's going to be a nightmare for IT providers to deal with, but it's going to be interesting. I think some of the features that I've kind of seen in the new version of Windows. Nice. It looks like they're correcting a lot of things that people complained about in 8 and putting it in 9. It'd be interesting. I guess we're all assuming it's going to call Windows 9. I would think they might want to call it 8.2, not just add another number out there to confuse the market even more. But
No, I think this is 9.
I think they're just going to be forced from a marketing standpoint to call it 9.
9, yeah.
It'll be interesting. It's like we don't really have a whole lot of info. We've just only really seen the start screen, and I wouldn't doubt if that feature ends up in an update in like 8.2 of Windows, where that kind of does something similar, where you can start to use Metro apps within the start right now.
Now, see, interesting. You said that, but the word is that there is no 8.2.
There'll be an 8.2.
No. Oh, even if there's an 8.2, it's that literally we are going to 9. Doesn't matter. Like the next update for all Windows 8 will be 9.
Well, if they do it that
And
way,
it's free. It's going to be free, so it's not like
if it's just gonna be
Oh
that
no,
way,
no,
it's
hold
gonna
up.
be
It's
free.
going to be free. Are you
yeah,
sure?
it's free. Yeah, it's free.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. Nice.
It's free. They basically they doing that to, and it's part of the marketing to just wash that taste out. Like literally just say, here's Windows 9. Really, it's 8.2 or 8.3, whatever you want to call it, right?
Well, the back end since Windows 6.45, whatever.
Exactly, right.
Oh,
It's whatever it is, but for the public, it's Windows 9, and it's like, whoa, fresh. That's what they try
well,
to
if it's
do.
gonna be free, they're gonna introduce it. They're gonna do it in this way. Then, okay, it's just kind of we'll wait and see. Let's see what they bring to the table.
Mhm. How about you, Sam?
Well, I'm not a big fan of the way the start menu looks, and I don't think I've I don't think I've actually said anything. I guess let me put it this way. I don't think the way Windows is going is the right way. Bring it back to start menu. So I'll wait and see, and see what charms look like in the start menu area, which makes no sense. It's like now your metros in your desktop, you know. Before it's like
No,
now you
have
have
you seen, have you seen the video?
I've seen a video. I didn't know if that was exactly
There's one with it works well, and you know what it is. So
it's
it's
awkward.
yeah, it may look awkward, but it looks like it functions well. The reason why I say, remember that Warren, remember that kid who did a Windows
Yeah,
retro theme?
yeah.
He got hired by Microsoft, and that's
Oh, so they did hire him.
yeah. Like he said, he was working with Microsoft, and he just went dead quiet.
So
He started going to. It was this kid. It's actually started from this kid who I wish I could find the video.
no, he had the most. It was like the most logical way to
It
have
looks off at first, but when you see he had a longer video, when you see it in function, you're like, okay, yeah, this actually works. So that's what and it looks like they've been implementing into different stages for it. So, like I said, I mean, it's wait and see. But the thing here is that the word of Windows 9 is that on tablets, it's going to be strictly a Metro experience.
Oh God, thank you.
But this is the desktop. This is like, this is almost like that's why the event is Windows 9 and it's also on Enterprise. So this is almost like saying businesses
when the 30th, right?
It's on 30th. Businesses
in
and the
San
people who
Francisco?
buy in San Fran, yeah, who buy our devices, right, are mostly still Enterprise, right? So let's try and solve that desktop problem for them. And then on tablets, you're looking at a Metro experience. Now, again, that's the word. I don't know if that's exactly true. We'll see once that comes out. But the other thing too is, Microsoft is going to drop on the Windows Phone side the Windows Phone name, and it's just going to be Windows.
Oh well, crap. Well, how long have we been saying that one?
And Windows, and it's just and whatever for the Lumia is just Lumia, Windows Lumia, 930 or whatever the case number may be. But it's strictly Windows. The first indication was with the HTC One M8 for Windows. It wasn't for Windows Phone. That's actually the first indication. And leaked photos as well as a commercial that just popped up said Windows altogether. So that would be interesting. Another news came out about Xbox 360 games running in a browser. Again, this is Microsoft flexing that Azure server capabilities here. This was on Joystick, and they talked about Microsoft has been testing and successfully testing Xbox 360 games delivery through the browser. I don't know how that will fit into the Xbox One, but it just means that you're running this thing off their servers for the Xbox One games, right?
I imagine that's what it is.
I think that's to me that looks like a very big step in backward compatibility for Xbox One.
Yeah. So that's a huge step there. We don't know when that would drop. But basically it says, according to our name sources, Xbox 360 titles and Xbox 360 dashboards will both run in the browser with games outputting at 60 frames per second. So that is Microsoft, and that's also Microsoft maybe even pushing their games into other avenues, to purchase, play, and buy. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Before we move to entertainment stuff, any more tech news this week that we missed, we didn't cover?
No, I think
we basically covered it in the first segment, which is iPhone 6.
iPhone 6, iOS 8. Oh yeah, people had Anyone who has an iOS device, could you tell me how your upgrade was to iOS 8? Because I heard a lot of issues in
Yeah,
comparison.
5 GB is required.
Holy
Wow,
5 GB on this is required.
I didn't know it was that big.
Yeah.
Why is it so big?
I don't know. I don't know.
There was
Oh.
a joke there. I'm just gonna let it go.
I thought of it too, and I was like,
Okay, so we have a comment here from Gary Heg. Sorry, Gary. I apologize. I just can't pronounce your last name. Even though I can read it. I apologize. He says, I think that Kickstarter funders sort of believe that they are part of something bigger. The
yeah,
Oculus sale make it seem like they left those Kickstarter investors behind. Sure, they deliver on the product, but Kickstarter is more than just providing some gadgets. It's about getting products and companies started. You feel like you're part of a team. Sure, you may not get money, but you do want to see the company moving forward. I agree with you. What the problem here is Kickstarter. Don't blame Oculus. Blame Kickstarter. Kickstarter needs to change the way they do their process. If people feel like they want to be part of a company, I've always said this: you want to be part of a company, buy stock at the very least. You know, you will actually make money that way. You also will lose money, but you will make money more than you probably made by buying Oculus. So that's my thoughts.
Alibaba.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. So Alibaba, I just call it Alibaba, is a
It's
Chinese
called
company.
Alibaba. What's the name of it?
Alibaba. I
I
mean,
thought it was
whichever
Alibaba.
way you
What
want
is
to
it?
pronounce it.
Well, the
It's
stock signal is Baba.
yeah.
And
So
all I know is this. This
the
is all
stock
I know of the other is
the
this.
stock ticker is Baba. Alibaba is a Chinese company very similar to Amazon and eBay in its business model, where you can buy products online, usually at a very discounted rate. Now there's a lot of counterfeit stuff there, but they are the biggest type of company compared to those two in China, and actually now worldwide because of the valuation. The valuation at $320 billion. That's
wow.
more than eBay
However,
and Amazon combined.
and their biggest IPO ever.
Yeah, and the what do you call it again? The so the company is basically moving forward now. If you know anything about Alibaba, definitely check them out. It's a cool place to buy a lot of stuff. Now, if you go to Alibaba itself, you have to buy a lot of things in bulk because these are Chinese manufacturers basically selling to you. The guys who make your iPhone, different parts of the iPhone or Samsung devices, things like that, they also are selling things directly. Now they have something called AliExpress, which is their way of selling directly to consumers on a smaller scale. And AliExpress, you can buy in bulk there as well as also buy smaller pieces. So, for example, you could say buy cases for your smartphone or laptop at discounted rates. But of course, you're shipping from China, so they have a lot of things they have to sort out. I think personally from Alibaba, just because they don't necessarily collect PayPal. Some manufacturers don't, some do. So that's going to be an issue there because a lot of people use PayPal, especially using on Amazon or eBay or those kind of places because it's safer. Than and I know in Alibaba a lot of companies want you to wire the money over because you're buying in bulk. So those are the kind of things they need to sort out and have a structured payment system where investors will feel more comfortable. But in terms of an IPO, a tech-based IPO, that is huge, big, you
Yeah,
know,
it is very.
and the CEO became the richest man in China, like that.
Oh,
Yeah, valued at 18. Yeah, as Warren puts two thumbs up at $18 billion, because of his stock holdings. And then I put this up in our Hangout discussion. Somebody, I think it was Yahoo, posted this thing on Bill Gates. Forbes says he's not the richest. He's the richest. I think Business Insider says he's the second richest. Depends on who you talk to. But they were evaluating how Bill Gates in the last 6 months became $6 billion richer because he has this investment company that somebody runs that really does some really good stuff. He owns stock in so many different companies,
hmm
and Bill Gates has been selling off his Microsoft stock and been giving just donating that money away. And they said if Bill Gates didn't do that, that Bill Gates would be valued at $178 billion,
wow.
considering the current stock price of Microsoft. He said so because basically the article said Bill Gates is up by 6 billion, and then within the article the person goes, actually technically he's down by 80 because he sold off all that stock.
Wow.
Microsoft, 80 billion.
Can you just believe that is more than the GDP of several different small countries? And we're not talking about third world countries. We're talking about first world countries. Bill Gates could buy a Western nation. He could buy a Western nation, people. Wow, that's just scary, man. It's money, man. It's just money.
It's like the Swiss make me angry. Where's my chocolate?
I will buy it. But the truth of the matter is simply these CEOs that make so much money. It's really interesting how they how they basically have to set up these philanthropic endeavors to basically siphon all that money into public good for the public good, because it would be obscene if you just held on to it.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Considering in his case, he donates the most amount of money than any human being on the planet.
And that's hard to do considering Warren Buffett does about the same thing.
Yeah, and he does it, like the fact that he said, he was selling off his Microsoft stock, like he's like, I'm gonna keep selling it off, and the fact that
he knew that though. I think one of the things I think he honestly knew that though. He probably knows like, hey, you could be making this amount of money and you could be worth this valuation. He probably looked at it and said, what am I gonna do with that?
Yeah, I mean, true, because his kids are only getting a certain amount. I mean, they're getting Microsoft stock and they're getting some. I mean, they will be rich, but they're not going to be billionaires. His kids will not be. I mean, which we say that way.
We say that.
But for him, I mean, I can understand because I understand it too. Like, if I was that rich, right? Part of me won't just leave everything for my family, my kids, my kids' kids, and he's like, look, I don't want them to just think that they can't do anything on their own. So I guess he's trying to at least try and instill some of that, which is nice. Yeah. And the fact that he's still giving away all that cash, like literally just donating, which a lot of these other CEOs should look and say, hey, look, I'm not saying you should just donate everything like Bill Gates because he already has set things up for himself, but, giving back always helps, giving back, especially in your mindset, which is why when people ask me, who's more influential, I always tell them it's Bill Gates. Well, I mean, not just because of the philanthropy, because I always felt that Bill Gates was the one who made me get into tech.
Dude, I always wanted to be like when you ask me, what was your goal? And like, when I was younger, it's like, why do you want to get into computers or engineering? It's like Bill Gates. Like, I want to be like Bill Gates. that was the truth.
Exactly. I mean, for me, it's the same thing because I looked at it as I remember, like especially in college, like when Apple started getting that resurgence, I had friends we were talking about. I was like, look, I said without Bill Gates, I would never touch a computer because he made it a mission in Microsoft that PCs must go worldwide. I mean, I'm from Nigeria. Buying a Mac back home would have been just basically dropping money for a house.
Yeah.
At that time. Getting a PC.
So many people would not be into it unless Bill Gates has said, I'm not worried so much about hardware. Like, we need to get the software so it works for everyone, and we have this broad spectrum so everybody can get some type of computing, some type of way into it. And that was his mindset. And I'm going to bash him right now. That was the opposite of what Steve Jobs thought. And it is clear that was the opposite of what he thought. And he thought it was a premium, higher level. It was a certain... You had to be a certain status in this world to have computing. Bill Gates saw completely opposite of that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Because if you see when you're working with a Microsoft machine, till this day, if you're building a desktop, the only operating system that is widely accepted that you can use, that you can build a PC with ease. It's still Microsoft Windows. You can't go ahead and just buy OS X, build your own box, and put and basically build what's essentially Hackintosh. That would be actually illegal. So it's a fundamental difference in Microsoft and Apple, but I think Bill Gates' idea of making things available to the masses has done so much to take computing as far as it's come so far. So
we have a couple more comments here from Greg. He goes, "I'm a teacher and I don't know how useful Windows tablet that just runs Metro UI could be. There are a lot of desktop programs that work fine in desktop mode, but the lack of apps on the tablet UI exclusively makes it useless. The problem with Metro apps is availability. The app selection is horrible right now. Maybe Threshold and the new Office will make it better. That's the idea, because Threshold brings all those Windows Phone apps like across, and the new Office should help that altogether. All right, cool. Let's get some entertainment stuff. There is a Deadpool movie.
And people are like, "Who's this guy, Deadpool?"
Yes, so Deadpool. If you ever watched the first Wolverine movie, Deadpool was played by Ryan Reynolds, and he was played well until they destroyed the character at the very end and taped his mouth. The name Deadpool's nickname is the Merc with a
With a
mouth.
mouth, and you taped his mouth.
And then you tape his mouth. So, just to give you some history, over during Comic-Con, Fox leaked out. They're like, oh, it's a leak. They leaked it out themselves. Test footage of Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool. Everybody loved it. They raved about it. They officially released it, and they took it down. And now they've come out and said they are Deadpool movie in February 12th, 2016.
Do you mean I have Green Lantern in my Deadpool?
No, he should never been Green Lantern.
I said that. I was like,
Nah.
Yeah, no, that's true.
As Deadpool, yeah, because he talks like Ryan Reynolds as an actor is one of those guys who just like his mouth can just like go like that with ease. So it fits that role, and we'll see how it is. It's now, would it be R-rated or would it be PG-13? Because Deadpool is an R-rated character.
Please be R-rated.
It should be, considering it's coming out around Valentine's Day. Might as well just do it and just be done. Counter programming to all that.
But I wonder who he's gonna be playing off of, because Deadpool is funny, but he's normally funnier when he's playing off another superhero.
I don't know. Don't have no idea on that, but it might be one of those things where they want to introduce him back into that X-Men fold, because the next X-Men movie is that year, also 2016. I mean, we'll see how it is with that kind of stuff altogether. Other news. So, since DC has all these TV shows left and right, you got Arrow, Flash, Gotham coming up, Constantine, and now
Constantine is going to be a TV show.
Yeah, it's just coming out on, I think, NBC, right? Yes, NBC. CBS feels left out. CBS feels left out completely, and they're going to pick up the Supergirl show. I kid you not. Now, this is the funny thing about it, right? Normally, before you pick up a show, right, you do a pilot, you check it out, and you go, we love this. We'll take 23 episodes. CBS has picked this up for 2 full season already. They haven't written a single thing down. I kid you not. It's the same guys who did Arrow and doing Flash. The rumors came up with the idea, and next minute, out of nowhere, because CBS is the only one who does not have any kind of superhero running around. I'm not saying the show is going to be bad or good. I'm just kind of
a very odd way of doing business.
Yeah, the fact that they just feel like, whoa, where's our own superhero show? And they're picking it up. So, Supergirl will be on CBS probably next year at some point. And and then we saw some vids of the Batmobile run around Detroit.
Is this going to be a situation where this is how you know superhero movies are dead, when CBS gets its own?
I don't, maybe. I mean, wait, I want to ask Warren this. Do you think CBS can carry a superhero, a sci-fi show? I don't think any good job in any sci-fi show.
It's not something that they're known for. It's
really? What shows?
I said it's not something that they're known for.
Yeah. I mean,
I think was Star Trek on there years ago?
I don't think so. Not CBS.
The original series, sure. I think, might have been on CBS, but I mean, I could be wrong about that.
Because I know Fox is one. Fox likes to play with all the sci-fi shows. They like to dabble in there, and it's cool. NBC can carry, because there was word that, and it's also produced by the guys who did Chuck, the Supergirl show. Writing. So, I mean, at least there's some good talent there. I mean, Chuck was cool for 3 seasons in. It's a 3 season show, but they went five, which they always try to drag things along. So I mean, we'll see, but I'm not too sure because if CBS is the right place for it, I think they would just
I
like I
guess it
said,
was on NBC originally. Okay,
it was
never
NBC.
mind.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. Because CBS, I've never thought of any sci-fi show on there,
I
at
don't
all.
really think they have any.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see how that is. And then we saw some videos of the Batmobile in Detroit chasing some Dodge Chargers. I actually drove by the building where where they did that shooting, although they weren't shooting that day. And I got to tell you, they need Batman in Detroit, man.
Wow. Any fans
What?
from Detroit, we are very sorry.
I'm very sorry, but I'm sorry. Okay, look, I was in Detroit for a wedding, and when you're at night and all the lights go from stoplights to flashing yellow, and I'm told that that's because they want you to keep moving and get out of certain areas, that to me is a problem. And the fact that I hear that a cop got carjacked in Detroit to me says something like, yeah, I mean, we need like RoboCop, Batman, and Terminator rolling on the
Oh,
street.
you had to add Terminator into the mix.
Okay, maybe not Terminator, but maybe RoboCop. So,
Wow.
sorry, if you're from Detroit, I apologize, man. But I mean, I've heard the stories, and I was there for a weekend, and it was very interesting. Oh yeah, Astonisher also said they make it. It looks like so Warner Brothers has now taken this theme of we're going to throw a lot of our TV shows, a lot of B-list characters on TV shows, which is great. I mean, you don't have to throw everything in the movie. But they're also thinking of doing a Suicide Squad movie. So we know they're doing Shazam, they're doing Batman, Superman, and Justice League and all that stuff. But they're thinking of doing a Suicide Squad movie. Like, if you don't know Suicide Squad is the collection of bad guys who basically go under the control of Amanda Waller to do some good. It's kind of like the anti-hero story, so to speak. So it'd be interesting to see how that turns out if they make a movie. But right now, it looks like Warner Brothers is throwing, I mean, you name it, everything out there. Whatever sticks. It's like the philosophy is like we just go pa 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 pa
That's
pa.
interesting, really.
And but on the TV side, I like it because with a TV show, you can always quickly cancel and restart.
And maybe I'm really hoping that with DC characters, especially, maybe we can get some more around a lot of these characters because I just find, as much as we can say Marvel gives you the melodrama, it also gives you a very clear backstory to a lot of their main characters, which I think is lacking in for some of DC's, or should I say, not even their main characters, some of their minor characters, which I think is lacking for a lot of DC's minor characters. They don't really have that great a backstory, you know.
No, 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 they don't. I mean, which is why it's good you throw them on TV
Yeah.
because you have a full season to build the character, like not a movie when you do that. So, I mean, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, we don't need story, right? We know who they are. Like at this point, if you don't know
Oh
it
no, but think about it. Wonder Woman is one of their biggest names, right? What's her backstory?
she's an Amazon. She was made from clay. Done.
Why? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Really?
I'm serious. That's
Why?
how Wonder Woman was
Why?
made.
Why is
She was
she?
made from clay.
Yeah, she was made. Her mother wanted a child. She couldn't have a child. She made her from clay, and she prayed to Zeus, and Zeus brought her to life. That's it.
Oh,
Done.
so she's a god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just done like
Okay.
that. Simple. There's no melodrama of that.
Was she a baby at any damn point?
No, Wonder Woman was not a baby. She came out a full-grown woman. Yeah, I mean they try to make her young, as that she made her when she was like maybe like a young girl or something like that. But I don't think she's ever been a baby at all. No, she's never experienced. That's why she like whenever they show Wonder Woman, she has no like pure female softer characteristics. She's made and she was trained how to fight. That's it. Like just go completely. So it's but I mean yeah, you're right on the smaller characters, the development. So maybe on the TV side you can definitely do more of that out there for DC characters. But it definitely would be interesting. Yeah, so that's pretty much it this week, guys. In terms of the giveaway, for this week, I mentioned the last week's giveaway for the iTunes gift card, the $10 iTunes gift card. The winner was Juan Irvin, not Juan Bagnell, Juan Irvin. So contact me. I'll send you your iTunes gift card. And this week, figured, what did you guys think about the iPhone 6 launch? Very simple. Give me your thoughts. We'll pick a winner. And instead of you winning anything Apple related, since we like to do counter programming, we're giving out two prizes: either a Galaxy S5 hybrid case from Spigen, or a LG G3 wallet case for the G3 from Spigen also. So let us know what you thought about the iPhone 6 launch, all that stuff all together, and you could win. Again, you have to subscribe to the channels, subscribe to Borderwork, Some Gadget Guy, as well as BW1, and you will be entered to win as long as you leave a comment with this video. So that's pretty much it, guys. So Warren, what can we expect from you next week on your channel?
I have a couple of reviews that I got recorded. I've been so busy this week I didn't get a chance to edit them, but I'm going to get the our 1+1 review will be up and available. We'll also have a review on a couple of accessories from Tilt and such that we're going to get out to review, if I get up for you guys as well.
All right, cool. All right, how about you, Mr. Black Iron _ man?
Well, Destiny, definitely.
Before you even go in that, what are your thoughts on the game so far? Give people like a brief synopsis, because I'll tell
it's
people
a mixed bag. It's a very mixed bag. It's a very mixed bag. I don't know how to put this nicely, but it's.
See Warren there over there. Warren's like, I told you so. I told you so.
The game does.
The funny thing is, I don't even play first-person shooters like this, but I was like, this game's being marketed. I kind of looked at it and I said, this looks like any other shooter that's out there. What are they doing? It's different.
No.
Okay. Like a whole lot of much.
Let me put it this way, right? It's kind of interesting that because I've actually read a recent article about this other game recently, and once I say the name, people will get it because it's very similar to this. But it's called Hellgate London, right? It's a game that came out promising everything that Destiny is promising, and it actually delivers. I'm sorry, and it did not deliver at all. Destiny, on the other hand, does deliver on the promises it's made. It's an expansive world. It's a first-person shooting MMO. It's pretty good, and it does so on a console. Now, what I don't like about Destiny is just it takes some of the bad elements of MMOs, and it basically just expands on it. I did a quest that said, find the entrance to the Hive Underground. I did that 3 times. 3 times. Why? I found it for one person that sounded like a dude, found it for another person that sounded like a female character. So I'm like, okay, so why did I have to do it again? Like, you guys don't communicate? Maybe I should put it on the internet. I'll put it on the internet. You can just Google it.
But you know what it is though. Like you say, it delivers. What I think it doesn't deliver on a lot of things. What Destiny reminds me of, you say Hellgate London. Destiny reminds me of trying to make a bigger version of Mass Effect. Mass Effect is not a first-person shooter. It's more of a team-based shooter, right? But what Mass Effect does well compared to Destiny tries to make that first-person shooter and then bring in MMO elements. Now, Mass Effect, you have a team with you all the time, so you can actually have computer NPCs that do stuff for you. True. Here in Destiny, you have to play with friends to actually have a team, and the problem is the game can get hard for no useless reason. I swear to God, right? You know how, like, Warren, like, you're playing the stage, right? You're like, the stage, like, take any game. You take a Mario game. This level is hard because, you know what, it's built that way from the beginning. You can clearly see it. Like, okay, I got to put my thumbs down. I got to jump here, do that. That's it. I'm going to work it. Destiny, you start the level. They tell you it's a level 8 level. You're maybe level 3. You started off, it's like, okay. Next minute, you just run into interference. And then they have this stupid thing called wizards all over the place, who you be shooting them, the life bar doesn't move anywhere. And you're like, all right, fine, let me throw a grenade. Then you realize you only have 1 grenade per life when you die until you upgrade it. I'm like, why? Why? And you just spent hours playing. You're like, and then a buddy of mine put the best review of Destiny, which I'm going to put in the review. He said, I'm just kind of paraphrasing, but I actually will quote him fully for you guys. He goes, Destiny is a first-person shooter pretending to be an MMO that does a very bad job at giving you a game with supposed open worlds that only tunnels where you shoot the same bad guys that you found in Halo, but have worse characteristics whatsoever.
Ouch. Ouch. That's just hurtful.
So,
Really feel.
what do you say?
Tell them how you really feel.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I mean that's that. I mean, but to a certain degree, right? You think about it; these are Halo type characters. You look at them, you're like, okay, they kind of look like characters in Halo, but to kill them takes forever. Like the minions too.
Well, well, the headshot counts for something in Destiny. I should say that.
Yeah, but to get a headshot is never the easiest thing in the world. It's not like it's. I mean, it's just. There's a lot to do with.
It's not an easy game. I definitely would agree with that. It is definitely not an easy game to get into. But at the end of the day, I think what it does do well is it kind of gives you some good MMO elements, but it misses out on a lot of others. The questing system, I think, is very poor. And also the grouping system is very poor as well, because not the systems to get a group, but basically the dynamics. You have essentially what is a tank and two casters, right? You have a tank, a ranged, and a caster. So you have the hunter, which is the range. You have the was it a wizard or a warlock, which is the caster, and then you have what's the name of the Titan, which is the tank, right? Now, none of these characters are distinct enough to basically fulfill that role.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, all the characters are basically the same.
Because if I was going to play an MMO,
it's like, see, Warren, if we all play Destiny, right, and we all say, okay, fine, you be tank, you be Titan, you be warlock, you be this, right? At the end of the day, you find out you're doing the same
thing. Which I've only played up. I started playing this yesterday, so I'm only.
He's trying to do that MMO element where you can shoot guns, but this person has more powers. Like, this person will cast spells more, right?
Yeah.
It is fine if that was the way, but when you keep playing it, like a lot of people say, when you play Destiny past 20 hours, you get anything. I'm like, no, a game should catch me on immediately.
Yeah.
So that I can play past 20 hours.
Realistically, right now, the only reason I'm really playing this game as much as I am right now is like I started playing the game yesterday. I'm going to try to get to level 15 or 20 by the end of today or by the end of the week. I'm going to basically try to do a review that gives people a very accurate review on the leveling system in this thing, because right now if I don't do it within the next 2 days, I'm going to lose interest in this. I can already tell I'm already losing interest. It tries to do a lot of things but does nothing well. That's what it is. Yeah.
All right. Let's not like review the game to death.
Yeah.
Before people go, thanks for just killing us on that Destiny one. I'll make the Destiny giveaway announcement tomorrow, guys. I apologize, I haven't done that yet. I'll do a video out for you guys tomorrow. But yeah, that's pretty much it. On my end, phone 6 review sometime next week, maybe Monday or Tuesday, I think, for the 6 Plus. Whenever T-Mobile decides, they're just saying, I'm gonna call you out, T-Mobile, again. I'm gonna call you out until you figure something out and send me what I paid for it, because that's just rubbish. That's pretty much it, guys. Anyway, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and favorite this video, and also subscribe to all the channels. Of course, you can check out Mr. BW1 Warren Bowman at Booredatwork.com on YouTube. Has some nice solid videos there, long form videos, some gaming videos too, especially hardware and accessories. You can check all those out at Booredatwork.com on YouTube and subscribe to all his social media channels. And also check out Mr. Juan Bagnell. He's famous now. Like, he's on TV. We don't see him anymore. I'm calling Juan out, and he's never here to defend himself. But but definitely check him out at somegadgetguy.com or some gadget Juan Bagnell on YouTube. Especially, he's got those speaker test videos and sound videos. And also Mr. Black_Iron_man. Sam, you can follow him on Twitter. Check him out at Border Work. He has his videos there whenever he decides to put them up.
What?
What? We're always pleased to see it. And also check out Border Work on YouTube and subscribe to all our social media channels. Thank you very much, guys, for joining in. Again, the giveaway, just to remind you quickly, just tell us what you thought about the iPhone 6 launch, and you get to win the Galaxy S5 Ultra Hybrid case from Spigen. Oh, snap! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Juan's here. Let me unmute him. Oh, you gotta unmute yourself, right?
No, I think you want to.
All right, hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. So Juan
Hey,
is
so
here. He's live at the Microsoft store opening. Where again?
yeah, so this is in Canoga Park. It's one of the first Microsoft stores opening up in the Valley here in California.
Nice.
Wow,
That is
awesome.
pretty cool. So how did the event go?
We're still waiting for it to open it up. Yeah, it's going to be opening up in a couple minutes now. It should. I think it's at 10 a.m. And the funny thing is that it's opposite here. I'm going to flip to my other camera. It's directly opposite an Apple store.
Oh.
So this is what I'm looking at right now. Actually, this is what I'm facing, and then this is going to be the Microsoft store directly opposite. And it's crazy. I mean, you can see all of the lines of people here for all for the Microsoft event. That one line over on the side, over there, that's people signing up for iPhone 6, and then all the rest of this is Microsoft, man. It's crazy. The line snakes all the way back out to that whole terrace area over there. It's pretty crazy. They've got music, they've got food walking around. They'll be giving away prizes. Yeah.
A live grand opening on the Hangout.
Yeah,
now?
we could do a live grand opening. We could stay online and just stream this live, you know.
Well, and we'll see if my data holds out because people are blitzing all of the networks here.
Yeah, that is true, but that's interesting though. That's nice.
So it's a great store. It looks like a really great location.
It seems
Oh,
like.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, this is like one of the nicer malls in the Valley, so it's pretty exciting.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, it's good to see Microsoft having all these large tournaments. I remember the first ones we had in Massachusetts. It was big, but it looks like it's getting bigger and bigger. People are embracing the fact that there's like a Windows or Microsoft store where you can go for all your Windows stuff.
Oh, yeah, well, and it's great because it's, you know, it kind of sparks that same thing. Like, I was out at Apple stores and AT&T stores yesterday morning. I was up at 4 a.m. to try and cover the iPhone launch, and it really does give it that sense of community because people line up more just to hang out with other Apple fans. And so I'm walking around over here, and you see tons of people holding Lumias. Lumia 1020s are super popular at this event. I've seen a ton of them, and a few 1520s and a couple others. So it's like, it just kind of reinforces, like, there are people actually using these products out there beyond us just tech bloggers.
Okay. Oh, that's just good to see. I'm glad that's there. Any special guests for this event?
I have no idea. I mean, I rolled right up. I just got my lanyard. I had a dentist appointment this morning, too, so I missed the very, very first announcements. I knew I was going to be here, but it's been a busy morning.
Dentist appointment. You had iPhone 6 launch yesterday. All that. Oh, speaking of, since we have you here,
yeah.
Quick thoughts. What are just some of the topics we had here? What are your thoughts on the iPhone 6, the launch fiasco, the device, like all that stuff?
Well, what do you mean by the launch fiasco?
I don't have my iPhone 6 Plus. I pre-ordered it the very same day.
Oh, I didn't know that there were issues with getting iPhones out to people.
There were a lot of issues. T-Mobile had a lot of issues. Most of the devices T-Mobile pre-orders didn't go out at all. I had to go to an AT&T store to get mine yesterday, and also
I got mine from an AT&T store too. I didn't even bother with an Apple store.
So, but what do you think about the device itself?
So I'm. Excuse me. I'm spending most of. I turn my head to cough. I've got a headset mic on. I've got the iPhone 6 Plus. I'm surprised by how big it feels. For as skinny as it is, when you hold it opposite a phone like the LG G3, for example, which is obviously thicker, but has the same size screen, it feels uncharacteristically not Apple-like to have a device that large. But a part of that is also just getting used to the fact that it's a phone. I'm only used to holding iPhones, so they're very diminutive, and obviously the iPhone 6 Plus is not. It's a snappy phone. I like the camera. I've already started doing some camera tests, which I'll be publishing soon. and I think it'll be really exciting for iOS fans. I don't know that it's going to be enough to draw in Windows Phone and Android fans. If you're already rocking a Note, if you're looking forward to the Note 4, I think a lot of people are going to be pumping the brakes who aren't already highly invested in the iOS ecosystem just to see what Samsung has to offer.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
That's exactly what I'm doing. What's exactly what I'm doing? So.
Yeah, because Sam was one of those. He actually wanted to pick up iPhone 6, and he was actually disappointed. Just with
the Sapphire display kind of turned me away. I thought it was going to have Sapphire right against it.
Well, and especially now that I've been abusing the shit out of a Kyocera Brigadier. I really am kind of bummed that Apple didn't actually move forward with Sapphire.
Yep.
So what about the 6? Now you said the 6 Plus is, I think it's huge. It feels like as big as the 1520, not as comfortable in my view.
And I compared it to the I did a bunch of photos yesterday, but comparing it to even phones like the LG G Flex, which has a 6-inch screen, it's not that much smaller than a G Flex for having a smaller screen on the diagonal. That's kind of ridiculous. The regular 6, excuse me, I'm having to yell. The regular 6, I think it's my favorite screen size. I love the 4.7-inch screen size, but I really wish it was a 1080p display like the HTC One M7.
Okay. All right, cool. That makes sense. What else did we cover that was interesting? Okay, yeah, let's move to some entertainment. So we talk about Minecraft and Microsoft buying that. But since you are in front of Microsoft, what are your thoughts of Windows 9? Windows 9 event is coming up on the 30th. I don't know if you've seen any of the leaked videos of Windows 9. Any ideas of what you think Microsoft will do? What do you think about the leaks of Windows 9 itself?
I'm kind of torn. I mean, we've had this discussion too in the past where I've been really positive on Windows 8. I don't miss things like the start menu. I've been on board having more touch optimization. So the direction they're heading for Windows 9, I think some will see it as a concession. But if it gets more people on board in that sort of every other version of Microsoft discussion, then I think that'll just be a positive thing for the ecosystem in general. Okay. Like, I'm not feeling super stoked just about the operating system, more the ecosystem. And if this really moves us through this threshold discussion that we've been having, more devices, more connectivity, more interoperability between apps and services, then
big words, easy.
Well, then I'm going to be on board, and that's going to make me happy.
Okay. All right, cool. And then just some entertainment stuff since you're here. Deadpool movie. Your thoughts?
Oh, sign me up. Make it a hard R, and I'm there. You've got my money.
Hey, whoa, hard R. Come on, man.
Thank you.
Wow. No.
My sentiments exactly.
Deadpool is an NC-17 character. You got to make the movie a hard R.
Yep. Not kids don't need to watch every single movie, and they don't need to watch, or teenagers don't need to watch every single movie or read every single comic book. I need some enjoyment.
It's okay to make a movie for adults. It's okay to say this is a movie for grown-ups. It's all right to do that.
Adults pay for almost every single movie out there.
True. I mean,
but guys, I'm actually going to go ahead and get going because I think this is going to start moving soon. If I can jump back in, I'll see if I can get us some video from inside the store. But I just wanted to send you guys a quick shout out because it's buzzing over here. It's hopping, and it's pretty exciting to see. Because Microsoft always usually gets panned for these kind of events, but this one's really cool. It's a lot of fun.
All right, thank you very much for joining. You were rounded up, so it's good to actually catch you there. But
excellent! I made it just under the wire.
Yeah, enjoy the event and let us know how it goes afterwards.
All right, we'll do, guys. Hey, have a good one. Take care, guys.
All right. Okay, that was Mr. Juan Bagnell reporting live from the Microsoft store. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, guys, again, thank you very much for joining us and watching the show. It's been fun. And catch you next week, same time, 11:30 on Saturday.
All right.
Bye.